Israelis are having a major problem in Thailand right now, and Thailand is having a major problem with Israelis. There, I said it. Now let's talk about what's actually going on, because this isn't coming from me. This isn't some personal rant. This is coming from thousands of comments online, from Thais, from foreigners, and yes, even from Israelis themselves. I've spent the last few weeks digging into this because everywhere I looked, Pattaya forums, Phuket groups, Samui expat pages, YouTube comments, TikTok videos. I kept seeing the same thing over and over. Why are Israelis causing so many problems in Thailand right now? Not some Israelis, not a few bad apples, but an entire pattern that people around the world swear they've seen in other countries too. Let me be very clear. This video is not about attacking a nationality. This is about behavior, repeated, predictable, documented behavior, and the emotional reaction it's creating across Thailand. And if you think this video is going to be one-sided, it's not. Because in the middle of all the anger, I found something surprising. Israelis themselves calling out Israelis. So buckle in. Let's start with the most common emotional theme, the one that shows up in literally hundreds of comments: entitlement, arrogance, talking down to locals, acting like they're above the law, treating Thais like servants instead of hosts. One comment said, "Some foreigners take Thai kindness as weakness." Another, "They act like Thailand is their home and the locals are the guests." That one hit me, because if you've lived here long enough, you know exactly what that looks like. Someone marching into a shop demanding special treatment, or arguing with a taxi driver like the whole country owes them something. And look, not all Israelis behave this way, let's get that out now. But a specific type of Israeli traveler does, and that's the problem. You've probably met the type fresh out of Army service, early 20s, traveling in massive groups, loud, hyper-confident, and sometimes carrying that military tone into civilian life. One Thai commenter said, "These aren't tourists, these are ex-soldiers treating Thailand like occupied territory." That's a strong statement, but it shows you how deep the emotion runs here. Here's what shocked me. People aren't just talking about Thailand. They're saying this is a worldwide pattern. I saw comments like, "They did the same thing in Cyprus. The same problem is happening right now in Sri Lanka. It started in Patagonia. Now Thailand is next. Sri Lanka, Colombia, Mexico, the Philippines, South Africa." People kept bringing up these countries over and over again as examples of tension between Israelis and locals. Now, the question is this: are these real patterns or just global stereotypes? Honestly, it's probably a mix of both, because stereotypes don't come from nowhere. They come from repeated stories that get shared so often they become the norm, even if most people don't behave that way. But here's the part that really surprised me. Israelis themselves confirmed it. One Israeli commenter wrote, "I'm Israeli and I'm embarrassed by how some Israelis behave here." And another said, "Raise the entry standards, filter out the troublemakers." So clearly, something is happening, and Thailand is paying attention. Let me tell you the part of the research that shocked me the most. And this wasn't just one comment. This came up again and again and again. Foreign-run compounds, specifically compounds run by Israelis. People claim Israelis are quietly buying land, setting up gated communities, restricting Thai access, bringing in private, sometimes even armed security, and acting like Thai law simply doesn't apply to them. I don't know if you've ever seen a Thai person get truly angry, but this one sets people off. One commenter wrote, "They're buying land and building compounds in Koh Samui under the radar." Another, "Restricted areas with armed foreign guards. That should never happen in Thailand." And then the nuclear line. This is how it started in Palestine. Don't let history repeat itself. That one comment appears hundreds of times across the internet. The comparison between settlements abroad and these alleged compounds in Thailand triggers an emotional explosion, especially among Thais worried about losing land control or cultural identity. Do these compounds really exist at the scale people claim? Hard to say. There are definitely foreign-run hostels and communities, definitely Israelis renting large villas and group housing, but the idea of Israel-style settlements in Thailand is what terrifies people. Because Thailand is very sensitive about land ownership. They've seen what happened to other countries. They don't want to become another case study. This is the emotional core that nobody is talking about publicly, the fear that Thailand could lose control of its land. People wrote things like, locals are being pushed out. Thailand is at risk of being taken over. History may repeat itself. Is Thailand actually at risk? No. Thailand is incredibly strict with land laws, but emotionally, this fear is very real, and it's not just about Israelis, it's about any foreigner who tries to bend the rules, exploit loopholes, or act like Thailand is theirs. Israelis just happen to be the group at the center of the spotlight right now, largely because of the size of their travel community and the behavior of a very loud minority. Here's where things get dangerous, and I'm going to tread carefully. A lot of the resentment toward Israelis in Thailand right now is tied to the Israel-Palestine conflict. People wrote things like, these ex-soldiers bring aggression with them. They act like they're still in the army. Their behavior abroad is shaped by their military upbringing. Is that fair? Not to every individual. But is it a real emotional reaction from people watching global events? Yes. And whenever you mix politics, military backgrounds, and intense national emotions, you get wildfire. People who were previously neutral are now hypersensitive. Anything an Israeli traveler does, good or bad, is instantly magnified. This is not unique to Thailand. It's happening worldwide. And honestly, it's sad. Because the vast majority of Israelis traveling are just young people trying to escape pressure, trauma, and a lifetime of conflict. But the minority that behaves badly, they ruin it for everyone. Here's where the research got intense. People brought up incidents from other countries as examples of why they worry. Comments like, they terrorized hotel staff in Siargao. Colombia had to deport them for abusive businesses. They did the same in Mexico. Arrogance, fights, refusing to pay. Are all these stories true? Not necessarily. Many could be exaggerated or misreported, but here's the thing. Emotion beats facts on the internet, and these stories, real or not, travel like wildfire. By the time they reach Thailand, they become part of a bigger narrative. We've seen this before. Don't let it happen here. This part was interesting, probably the most Thai-specific. People are afraid that if Israelis bring enough money, enough influence, enough connections, they can buy protection. Comments like, you can get away with anything if you pay enough in Thailand. Local police protecting them? That's when you know corruption is deep. To many Thais, the fear isn't just outsiders acting badly, it's outsiders buying immunity, because Thailand is a country with deep kindness, but also deep vulnerabilities. Money moves things, we all know that. And when people start believing a foreign group can buy their way out of consequences, that turns frustration into fury. Let's talk about the other side of the story, the part no one shares, because controversy gets more clicks than kindness. I found a massive number of comments praising Israelis too. People saying things like, the Israelis I met were respectful and kind. Some of my best customers were Israeli families. There are many good Israelis who love Thailand and treat us with respect. And then there's the biggest theme. Thais love kindness. They love humility. They love guests who treat them with respect. One comment said, I have never encountered such honesty anywhere in the world except Thailand. Another, Thailand wants guests, not opportunists. This is why the anger is so explosive, because Thais aren't naturally angry people. They're soft, polite, generous. So when you push them to the point where they want crackdowns, visa bans, deportations, you know something real is happening. This was one of the loudest themes. People aren't just complaining anymore. They're demanding action, and not mild diplomatic, please behave better action. No, what I kept seeing over over and over again was a very clear message. People want strict enforcement, real consequences, real pressure, real change. They want bans, not temporary ones, not warnings, but permanent entry bans for anyone who disrespects the country or treats Thailand like their playground. They want deportations, fast, public, and decisive, the kind that sets an example, the kind that signals the end of do whatever you want because you're a tourist. They want zero tolerance, especially for aggression, entitlement, illegal businesses, visa fraud, and anything that threatens local safety or dignity. No more excuses, no more special treatment. They want the government to shut down long-stay loopholes that let certain foreigners live in Thailand for years without the proper visas. The era of endless border runs and questionable volunteer visas is getting old, and people know it. Some are even calling for military involvement when things get out of hand, especially in areas where law enforcement seems hesitant or outnumbered. That's how serious the mood is right now. They want inspections of foreign-run compounds, hostels, villas, and businesses, especially the ones rumored to be operating like private territories. People are tired of whispers. They want clarity. They want oversight. And most importantly, they want the government to shut down illegal foreign businesses that exploit Thai loopholes while pushing locals out of their own economy. This isn't just random frustration on social media. This is emotion turning into policy, anger turning into action, and public sentiment pushing leaders to respond. When enough people feel disrespected, ignored, or taken advantage of, a line gets crossed. Thailand looks like it's finally reached that line. And you know what's crazy? Even Israelis as well are asking for stricter controls because they're sick of being associated with the bad behavior of a few. One Israeli wrote, "Kick out the troublemakers. They make us all look bad." The real issue is that the minority who behave badly don't just misbehave, they go all in. They're loud, aggressive, entitled, and the complete opposite of what Thai culture values. And Thai culture isn't just culture, it's the glue that holds this place together, the quiet system that keeps Thailand peaceful, welcoming, and stable. So when someone shows up and disrespects that, it's not just rude, it hits at the identity of the country hosting them. That's why this topic gets so emotional. It's not about one tourist, it's about protecting the harmony Thailand is built on. If you're Israeli and traveling to Thailand right now, listen carefully. Thailand is not the place to bring your stress, your army habits, or your trauma. Thailand is not your battleground. Thailand is not your training camp. Thailand is not your territory. This country welcomed millions of Israelis with open arms for decades. Don't be the generation that ruins it. If you respect Thais, they will treat you like family. If you act entitled, they will shut the door and lock it. Simple as that. You have every right to protect your land, your culture, your hospitality, your peace. And remember, not every Israeli is the enemy. But at the same time, Thais have every right to demand respect in their own country. You have the right to expect accountability and real protection of your land and culture. Speaking up isn't being dramatic or overreactive, it's being responsible. Welcoming good people and rejecting bad behavior can both be true at the same time, and Thailand deserves that balance. If something doesn't change soon, Thailand and Israeli travelers are heading straight for a breaking point, not a small argument, not a social media fight, a full cultural rupture. You can already see the cracks forming. Thai forums are filled with frustration. Israeli forums are filled with defensiveness. Foreigners living here are screaming, "Finally, someone is talking about this." And Thai locals, some of the most patient people on earth, are saying, "Enough." This is the part where people always ask, so whose fault is it? But that's the wrong question, because this wasn't caused by one event or one tourist or one nationality. This is what happens when two completely different worlds collide: loud trauma meeting quiet culture, military confidence meeting Buddhist calm, emotional intensity meeting emotional restraint. It's not good versus bad. It's not Israelis versus Thais. It's behavior versus boundaries. And Thailand is finally drawing its boundary line in the sand. Here's the truth nobody likes admitting. Thailand is becoming less tolerant, less forgiving, less my pen rye when it comes to foreign disrespect. And honestly, can you blame them? This is a country that survived colonization by avoiding conflict. They preserved their land by staying humble, not hostile. But they also learned one lesson very deeply. Once you lose control of your land, you never get it back. That's why the compound rumors hit so hard. That's why military-style behavior triggers so much fear. That's why people keep saying, don't let history repeat itself. Whether the fears are exaggerated or not doesn't even matter. Emotion always outruns facts. And right now, emotions are sprinting. Because if the respectful majority stays silent and the entitled minority stays loud, guess who defines the reputation? Not the good ones, not the kind ones. No, the loud minority will define everything unless something changes. Respect isn't optional anymore. It's the only thing that will keep this relationship alive, because Thailand is watching, Israelis are watching, the entire travel community is watching. So here's the real question, the one that will decide everything from visas to policy to cultural trust. Can respect fix this before it blows up into something bigger? Or are we already past that point? I want to hear from you. Not the sanitized version, not the politically correct version, the real version. What do you think is happening here? Where do you think this is heading? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.